Hey guys, welcome back to my vlog of the week. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to engage more with my content. This week we are talking about purpose. Purpose has been on my mind a lot, and I usually come to various points in my life where I start to evaluate purpose, the direction that I'm going in. I know a lot of people, when they think of purpose, they think of career. What am I doing in order to add to society? And for me, purpose is the internal guiding force for how you choose to live your life, the choices that you make. It is the guide that steers you in certain directions and helps you to create the life that you desire, or maybe the life not so much. And so for me, purpose is about having an internal guide that helps you to make certain decisions in your life. And so, um, one story came to mind when I started to think about purpose and the direction that I was going. This is actually a story that I've never shared before, and I honestly don't even think I've spoken about it since it happened. Um, Upon graduating high school, I had my high school graduation, and there was a lot of preparation for the week going into having my graduation party and all of that good stuff. What was not anticipated was that my grandmother would pass. And my grandmother, she passed 2 days after my graduation, and it was actually 2 days before this graduation party that she had been planning for me. And my grandmother, she raised me. She was my mother figure. She was the woman that I looked to in my life. She was the one that took me in after my mother passed. And so um, my grandmother passed at a very significant point in my life, which was me transitioning out of high school and into the real world. I was only 17 years old when I graduated high school. And so, as a young lady, I had so much ahead of me and so much to figure out at this time. And I had already decided that I would be attending college, Jackson State University, in the state of Mississippi. And this had already been discussed with my grandmother. And that was my plan, to go away to college, but I didn't plan for not having her, because she was like my home. And so if I were to go away to college, then I would return back to her home, to that home, my childhood home, for summer breaks, for Christmas breaks, and stuff like that. And so her passing changed my life, and it just changed so many projections that I couldn't have come to on my own, just based off of the plan of me going away to college in Mississippi, which is how Mississippi actually ended up becoming my home for 14 years after my grandmother passed. But the story that I actually want to share is what happened before I went away to college. Um, my family started to create obstacles in front of me for um, to keep me from leaving to actually go away to college. There were so many obstacles that they had placed in front of me that it was almost like I didn't know if I was actually going to make it to Jackson for freshman orientation, new student orientation and welcome week and all of that. It was almost to the point where I did not go away to college. I And so I had actually, I didn't know how I was going to get to Mississippi. So I actually asked my cousin if she could drive me to Mississippi so that I could make it for um, my new life in Jackson. And, at first she had told me yes, that she would take me. And then suddenly she told me that my aunts told her to tell me no, that she could not take me to school. And so at this time, I was just trying to figure out how am I going to get to Jackson, Mississippi to, start this next phase of my life. Um, because I didn't have anything else in store for what I wanted for my life, but to go away to college. Um, and so my boyfriend at the time, his mom was actually the one that ended up taking me, uh, taking me to college that summer, and I'm so thankful for her stepping up and just taking on that role and rolling me on down to Mississippi to see me off. But that was like the my very first taste of being in the real world, navigating financial aid and not having a guardian. My grandmother had already filled out paperwork for my FAFSA information, but there was nobody over me. Like there was no guardian to fill in paperwork and stuff like that. So, excuse me, I had to navigate so many different things um, as a young woman now that has a whole life ahead of her in a whole new state and just not understanding or even knowing what I was actually facing. Of course, um, I think about what if I didn't make it to college that summer? Where would I be? What would be going on in my life? Would I make it out of Cincinnati? Or would I still be there, maybe working a fast food job or working at a gas station or um, figuring things out? I hadn't thought about attending college in Cincinnati at all because Jackson was my one and only plan that I had for myself. But when I think about purpose, I think about experiences like that happened in my life to where sometimes a lot of times there are external obstacles there keeping you from all the things that God has in store for you, that is creating um, chaos in your life when you're trying to progress and elevate yourself. At that point in my life, I really had the desire to be a role model to my little sisters because I internally just felt like I have to make something of myself because I need to take care of my family. I need to show um, my siblings that you can make it out of Cincinnati or you can make it out of the circumstances that we were born into. And my mother She died when I was really young, when I was 6 years old, and she died from her drug addiction. And my father, he battled with drug addiction as well. And although my father has always been a part of my life, like growing up, he's always been a part of my life. Um, and I've always uh, just loved him as my father. He wasn't really present as a father figure, even though I've always known him, and he's always been in my life. And I just found myself as a young lady now in charge of my own life, my own direction, uh, my own purpose, my own career. And through high school, I was internally motivated to help other people get through a lot of the experiences that I had gone through in my life. And when I think about that time in my life, I think about the pain that I experienced throughout my life at that point, just from losing my mother to me and all of my siblings being split up amongst different homes, to dealing with a parent that was still battling with drug addiction. I had a lot of pain on the inside as a 17-year-old girl going out into the world. And I think about how that pain could have controlled my life. And in some ways it did. I've had different moments in my life where I gave up, and I felt like I couldn't keep going forward, and um, reach places where I just felt like I failed. But I know now that I've overcome every single obstacle that has been placed in front of me. So far, I haven't been a quitter, and I'm not a quitter. 4 years into my 30s now, and living in a new state, no longer in Jackson, Mississippi, but now living in Atlanta, Georgia for the past couple of years. And I am at that point in my life now where I am again thinking about my purpose, and my heart has just always been with the people. My heart has always been in helping and supporting and caring for and loving other people. I have experienced the greatest of love through friendship, through the people that have randomly crossed my path, or the people that were purposely placed on my path. I have been able to experience the things that I wasn't born into. Love was something that I had to learn. Happiness was something that I had to learn. Joy was something that I had to learn. But pain was something that I never had to learn because I was born into it. And so when I think about my purpose now, and I'm thankful to still be here today, to still have a lot of potential ahead of me, and to be full of um, just be full of the compassion and the love, and to know that I am a skilled, educated, experienced um, helper, supporter, um, someone that has dedicated her life to helping others through their mental challenges, helping others through their experiences, even when going through my own challenges and experiences. I've always felt lost without being able to support others through theirs. And so I've always created a community of support, and I haven't quite created that community here yet in Atlanta, but I am taking steps forward now to create that community here where I live, that community of support for me to be able to be that guide and that mentor and that woman that people can look to, and say, if she could do it, I know that I could. Um, I stopped. I never liked people calling me strong because of the experiences that I had gone through, because that is just the cards that I was dealt, and I had to choose what to do with them. I had to make decisions in each and every moment in order to create the life that I desired. And I'm still working towards creating the life that I desire, and I'm still dealing with the cards that I'm dealt. I'm still fighting um, through things that I'm fighting through, trauma that has created obstacles in my life. And um, it hasn't been easy, but I am thankful that each day I get up and I do what I have to do. Each day I get up and I do what I have to do. And there was a time where I couldn't get up. There was a time where I couldn't turn the lights on in my house. There was a time where I couldn't step foot outside my house. There was so many times where I thought it was the end for me, and God has always revealed to me the presence of the divine and divine intervention, and whether it is placing that person or um, that experience in front of me to be able to just go one more day, um, I've always overcome. And I have developed the strength, I have developed the mental toughness, I have developed the emotional intelligence, I have developed the internal forgiveness, the process that you go through, and forgiving yourself for having to figure it out, and for forgiving others as they trespass against you in your process of figuring it out. Um, I've always embraced my imperfections and knowing that I'm not perfect, and I've done a lot of wrong trying to figure life out. I've made a lot of decisions that have negatively impacted me, but I've made a lot of decisions that have positively impacted me. I've made a lot of decisions that have positively impacted others. And I have just taken the good with the bad over the years, and I have fully integrated that into my life, and understanding that all that I am made up of is good. All that I am made up of is good. And there is not one person in this world that can tell me otherwise, even though there are people that may come into your life and try to tell you who you are. You have lived with you every single day. So you know you better than anybody can come and tell you who you are, make you feel bad for who you are, make you feel shame or guilt, or whatever negative feelings that people come in because of their own personal struggles, um, whatever they try to oppress upon you, you always have to know who you are. And there has been times where I've forgotten who I am, and I've allowed the narratives of others to take over the narrative that I have of myself, the things that I know of myself. And so today, in processing purpose for myself, my purpose has been this internal guide to be amongst people, assist them through their healing process. And I'm still figuring out how I want to show up in that area here in Atlanta. Um, what do I want to create that allows me to continue to live in that purpose and continue to support others and help others, um, and continue to create that community for myself that is just as supportive as I am to them. And so, if you can think about your purpose today, think about that moment in your life where something almost kept you from where you were going, and God made a way for you to go. And I have always been a send me, I'll go type of person. I've always been the type of person that's kind of working in the backgrounds of things, building things up. Um, Never really out front, but always doing the preparation for things to be able to operate the way that they're supposed to. And I'm an attention to detail type of person. That's who I am, and I like getting to the nitty gritty of things. And so, as I processed my purpose today, I hope that you think about your presence here on earth and the impact, because purpose is about impact. It is not about anything else other than impact. Your purpose is about impact. And as you think about how you want to impact others and the footprint that you want to leave on this world before it's time for you to go, I hope that you find peace within with the purpose that you have been living by this far in your life. And if you feel like that purpose has led you to places that have not been places that you want to go, then it's not too late for you to make another decision. So, this is me sharing myself with you. I hope that this message had, I hope that this message lifts you up and helps you to reflect on your life and the decisions that you've made so far, and where you want to go in your next moment. Because I personally live in moments, and I live through experiences, and each moment counts. Whether I am sitting, chilling on my couch, playing games with my son, all of those moments, um, they mean mean just as much as the next moment does. And so, if you're feeling a little stagnant, as I have been, give yourself a little push and think about your purpose, how you got here, and that'll help you make the decision about what your next moment is going to be. If you'd like to engage more with my content, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll be here for however long I'll be here. See y'all later.